I'm this close to crying. Hey everybody, we are on our way to Chapman State Park today for Memorial Day weekend. We are camping up there with Ryan's parents, Tom and Monica. They're actually up there ahead of us. They took the kids up around lunch, so that's why it's a little bit quiet in the truck today.
It's a peaceful drive for us anyway, not for them.
Yeah, I don't think they're not having the same drive experience as we are.
Camping on a holiday weekend, it's kind of a mixed bag as far as like crowds and experiences. We've never done Memorial Day, I don't think, but we've done 4th of July on several occasions, so this is a new thing for us. But why Chapman State Park is because they were the only place with a site with electric for this weekend. So, you know, it could go both ways. It could be a hidden gem that just nobody knows about, so they weren't going, or it could be not a very nice place, and that's why they had sites and no one else did. So we're going to give you the whole lay of the land throughout these next couple episodes, and we do have lots of exciting things planned, so stick around because it's going to be a good one. Alright, so friends, here we're at Sheetz and Ridgeway. I've continued to realize that Sheetz is a bad place to fill up with fuel. This is a brand new station and they still just can't figure out how to design it to get in and out, but it is what it is. So we've made it north of I-80, and all of the best things in Pennsylvania are north of Interstate 80, so we're pretty excited. The Chapman State Park is very close to the Allegheny National Forest. My parents have made it with the children, so that's a big plus. And I think we're about an hour out, so we'll be with you at the campsite here in just a bit. Alright, so friends, this here is Site 57. It's a fairly large site, right in the woods, very shaded. It is not particularly level, if that's something you care about. So we got blocks and blocks and more blocks. But all in all, I think it's a good spacious site, and you know, nice private area at the campground, so should fit our needs for this holiday weekend. Right now we're gonna go over to my parents' cabin and check that out, and they got a fire going over there, so we're anxious to get some dinner, so we'll see you over there. Where are we going?
Honestly, I have no idea where we're going. We're going for a bike ride. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Alright, so she doesn't know where we're going, but the end goal is to take the bikes over to the Kinzua Bridge. We filmed it once before for you, but that was like our first vlogging adventure, so I really didn't know what I was doing. So hopefully this time it's better.
And it's going to be sunny.
And it's going to be sunny, so the whole experience ought to be better. Plus we're bicycling. We're starting in Mount Jewett, and we're actually going to bike the opposite direction to the end of the trail, and then we'll go the whole way to Kinzua, where we'll stop and have lunch and explore the bridge and all that stuff. So let's
the little monster's strapped in.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, so this is somewhere near Mount Jewett, PA, and there are very little signage as it relates to the Knox and Kane rail trail in the area. So essentially we sort of seen the trail, we turned down a road, and this is where we parked. But if you're not really looking for it, good luck finding it. We're gonna head that way, which is towards Lantz Corners. We're not sure how far that way we're gonna go, but from here to the bridge it's 4 miles. So then we're gonna go back that way towards the bridge, and we're gonna find a spot to eat lunch somewhere. And then we're also gonna show you the visitor center at the bridge. So should be good. So up here in the Allegheny National Forest, there's a wealth of oil and natural gas under the ground. And I think also coal, but originally the industry up here started out as oil, but lately it has become more shale drilling into natural gas. And this sign does a pretty good job of explaining that and the recent rebirth in industry up here. But here's a sign talking about the lumbering industry, which was also huge back in the day. They cut down all the pine, the white pine and hemlock forests. But the good news is, tomorrow we're going to explore some old growth forest up here. So make sure you're subscribed and ready for next week's episode, because that's going to be featuring Heart's Content Natural Area, which is one of the last old growth forests up in this region. Luckily they saved just a few spots for us to see today. But otherwise, all that stuff got cut down. But this sign is talking about how when they cut down the pine and the hemlock, made room for other desirable species like cherry, and so that became an industry then later up in this region. Okay friends, so we are here at Lantz Corners at the intersection of US Route 219. There is a little bit of parking here, as you can see. That's what we should have probably did, is park here, because then we could have rode uphill the whole way to the bridge, and then it would have been a nice ride back to here. But there was no trailhead parking on the map, but there is a trailhead here. So from here to the bridge, I think it's like 7.5 miles. As you can see that way, they do have intentions on taking the trail further. I think eventually it's supposed to go like 70 miles, which will be really cool. But right now, this section here, it's like 7.5, and then there's some other sections down by Kane that you can do as well. So yeah, we're headed over to the Kinzua Bridge now, and should be awesome when we get there. So we'll show you. Well, friends, we finally made it here to the Kinzua Bridge, and this Knox and Kane rail trail that we've been riding on. This was originally a railway, and this used to be, when it was built, it was the tallest and longest bridge, I think, in the world, or at least of the type of span that it was. Originally it was cast iron, and then eventually remade into steel, and this carried trains through, I think, the 70s sometime. It became a state park, and then after that it was a tourist railroad up until a hurricane took it out in, I forget what year it was, 2012 or something like that. I'll tell you when I find out. But yeah, we're going to check it out. They still have the Skywalk here at the state park, and carries you out to where it's safe to go, and they've even got a glass floor we can look down on. So let's go check it out.
Do you have to?
Rachel's out on the Skywalk this time, friends. Last time she made it about 10 feet out here, and now we're almost out to the end.
Yeah. I don't know. You're gonna have to walk me back, because I'm this close to crying.
She can make it. It's worth it, friends, to make it out to the end here. And I'll be honest with you, this is another situation where if she can make it, you can make it. Well, what do you think?
I'm glad I came out, and I actually like this view. This is not scaring me as much as over there, but the bridge moves.
And friends, so last time we walked down into the valley, and I actually walked up to the other half of the bridge on the other side, which is really cool.
Someone should have taken my picture out there so my parents would believe it.
It's on video.
Okay.
Anyhow, and I'm assuming they're going to watch the video. But this time, we might walk down to the bottom. I'm not sure. Depends on how much energy everybody has, and no, probably not, because a little bit of time constraints. But yeah, I'll show you some footage from down there, and some of the. We talk about how the bridge was actually built and what caused the tornado to take it down. So we're standing here at the wreckage of the Kinzua Bridge, which was at the time the tallest and longest railroad bridge in the world. It stood for over 100 years, and an F1 tornado took her down. We're at the bottom right now. We didn't get any film up at the top. We've been trying to manage my wife Rachel's fear of heights and my child Sarah's fear of nothing. So it's been an interesting adventure. But we wanted to show you from the bottom what it looks like. And there's a really nice visitor center at the top. You got to check that out. And of course the Skywalk up there. Sarah and I walked out. I'll show you some pictures of that. But the visitor center is just fantastic. I mean, it is one of the best visitor centers I've ever seen. So you got to go. You got to check us out. It's pretty cool. Just wanted to show people this up here. So from my understanding, it looks like there's a bolt like this on this side and the same on the other side. And this is one of the original stone pillars. Most of them are wrapped in concrete. So they wrapped it in concrete to make it sturdier and then put more anchors into it. But it looks like to me they just expected gravity to kind of hold this thing down, and the bolts was in there to keep it from moving side to side. But I guess no one ever expected a tornado to try to pick it up. So I do think, though, right now we're going to go over to the visitor center and check that out, because that's something we didn't show you last time. It's not normal that we take you to the same place twice, but here at least the weather and the conditions of today are totally different, so it's a very different experience than the cloudy, miserable day. And obviously we're here on a holiday weekend, so it might not always be this crowded. I know last time we were here, of course, it was raining. We kind of had it all to ourselves, but there was still people.
There are still people.
But clearly not this many. So yeah, if you're here on like a Saturday, you're gonna, experience people, which is, it's crazy. There was nobody on the bike trail with us, but now here it's like everybody's here. It's just something to be aware of. But it's a beautiful day, so everybody's out and about. So friends, it was 2003 that the tornado came through, so I was kind of way off on the year, but friends, this is one of the coolest visitor centers that we've ever been to. I really like all the interpretive stuff that they have here. Earlier in this trip we were talking about Pennsylvania State Parks and kind of how they compare to other places that we've been, and this one is truly something special. You should have this on your list if you're a fellow Pennsylvanian of must-see places. It's really special. And make sure you don't forget to stop in here at the visitor center. And if you have children, this is a great place for them. A lot of interpretive stuff and stuff where you can really get involved in it. So the kids really enjoy it. Alright friends, so we're going to conclude this episode here at Kinzua Bridge. Our plan is to bike back to the truck and take you on more adventures. So that'll be next week's episode. Hopefully we're going over to Bent Run Falls, and then tomorrow Heart's Content. So be sure you're subscribed and like this video so it can spread to more people. And Rachel, what do you think?
I'm glad I walked out to the end this time.
If she can do it, you can and should do it. So, okay, we'll see y'all next week.